All right, hey YouTube, here we go for the unboxing of the Nintendo Switch. I got this thanks to Nintendo. They sent this over to me for free, and it's kind of cool. Can't really talk about how I got it for free, but here we are. We got the Nintendo Switch. We also have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as well as the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. These are hard to come by. But anyways, we're going to be doing the unboxing video for the Nintendo Switch. First thing that I noticed, and I haven't bought a Nintendo console in a while, is that there's no little security tape there. I always kind of noticed that from back in the day. You can't really tell if it's been opened or not, so I don't know if that's just exclusive to the ones that Nintendo sent out for free. I don't know, but anyways, as we open this up, we have the Switch console right there. It's kind of front and center. Feels really good, feels really solid. We also have the JoyCons right next to it. We'll put this aside for just a second. We have a couple of different compartments here. It looks like we have an HDMI cable, our power cable, which you'll notice is a USB-C. That's important because if you are going to buy an additional cable, just make sure you're looking for that USB-C adapter. And I believe you're also going to be able to use USB-C accessories. I've also seen people online, they found that if you plug this into your MacBook Pro, it's actually going to charge the MacBook instead of charge the Switch. So right here we have the Joy-Con adapter. You'll be able to click those Joy-Cons into there. We'll put that aside. Right here, these are for your Joy-Cons. They're for your left and your right. You'll be able to just snap those onto the Joy-Con for when you're going in handheld mode. And then you have the Switch base or dock. There's going to be some third-party docks out there. You can get replacement docks for this, but they're $90, which seems like a scam in a lot of ways, because all it is a chunk of plastic and a couple of adapters for the AC and HDMI. What I've found is that some people have just done different creative things to kind of rig their console up to their TV. I don't recommend it, but there are going to be third-party adapters. But let's just set this aside and let's take a peek at everything else that we have here. We got our Joy-Cons, which again, they just feel pretty solid for being plastic. The first thing I notice is that it feels like a good controller. A lot of people have complained about the size. They're definitely tiny, but it doesn't really pull me out of it. I think it's just actually kind of a good build there. Yeah, and then the actual console itself, it just feels really solid, and I keep hearing that. You know, it's a mix of plastic and metal and glass. It's got the kickstand in the back. It has speakers in the back, and you have your vent up top there, and the port for putting the game cards in right there. So you can put it in kickstand mode, play like this, but of course most people are going to be playing with the Joy-Cons attached. You slide those down like this. And there you have it. The console does not come with very much power. I think if we do power it on, there might be a little bit to the battery. Again, it just kind of feels good in your hand. It will power up. This is the first time I powered up, so it's probably going to take you through a little process of registering. But yeah, it just feels really good. Feels good in your hands. Feels really solid. Again, if we detach these, there's little buttons on the back for detaching the Joy-Cons. Take those off. Another thing people asked about is whether or not it's touchscreen. The system is touchscreen, so that is something they haven't quite advertised with it. But you can take the Joy-Cons and then attach them to the Joy-Con adapter, and it becomes its own little controller. Again, there is a charging version of this controller that you can get. It's $29. It's a pretty good deal as far as you know, you won't have to worry about constantly charging your system. There's talk that the battery life is 2.5 to 6 hours depending on what you're doing. That's not really a ton of battery time, but I never find myself too far away from home. So yeah, this is the Nintendo Switch. They shouldn't be too hard to find. They definitely have them on Amazon, but I think if you're regularly checking with your local store, go for it. I think you're going to not have a hard time finding them. And mostly check the places that don't normally that people don't normally think about buying hardware from. So for example, I got a friend who got one from Fred Meyer. It's like a Kroger's. So if you have a Kroger's or a Fred Meyer nearby, that is a good place that a lot of people don't think to check. This is the system itself in the dock. It's not, since the dock's not powered up, it's not really quite grabbing it. But there you go. That is the Nintendo Switch. Go for it, everybody.